Hello, I'm Stan Hitchens, and today I'm with my sons Stan the Younger and Jeffrey, and we're in Paoli, Chester County, Pennsylvania.
Today we are here to highlight the life of Major General Anthony Wayne. He was a soldier, a patriot, and later on in his life a politician. It was here in 1745 in Waynesboro that he was born to his parents, Elizabeth and Isaac, and he lived here all up until the last 5 years of his life.
It was here at his family home that the young Anthony Wayne learned the skill of tanning and also surveying. He learned the skill of surveying at his uncle's academy, and then later moved to Philadelphia, where he enrolled in the College of Philadelphia. It was there that he rubbed shoulders with such luminaries as Benjamin Franklin. As a matter of fact, Benjamin Franklin hired Anthony Wayne and some of his associates to go to Nova Scotia to survey land grants. Upon his return here to Waynesboro in 1766, Anthony Wayne married Mary Penrose, and it was here that they raised two children, a daughter Margaretta and a son Isaac. It was around this time that Anthony Wayne became a very prominent citizen. He was a tanner and he was a surveyor, and people got to know who he was, and he became elected to the Pennsylvania legislature, where he served between 1774 and 1780.
When the War for Independence broke out, Anthony Wayne raised the 4th Pennsylvania Regiment of Militia, where he became that unit's colonel. Later on, George Washington sent Anthony Wayne to assist Benedict Arnold in the invasion of Canada. Although the invasion was ultimately unsuccessful, Wayne proved himself to be a gallant commander and was eventually given the rank of Brigadier General. General Anthony Wayne was involved in some of the most famous actions of the Revolutionary War, including Brandywine, Stony Point, Monmouth, Germantown, and the encampment at Valley Forge.
It was in 1777, after the Battle of Brandywine, that Anthony Wayne was assigned the task of harassing General Howe and his advancing army on Philadelphia to slow them up. It was during this harassment campaign that one night Anthony Wayne's division was caught sleeping in a midnight bayonet attack by the British. This battle was known as the Paoli Massacre, and it tarnished Anthony Wayne's military reputation, so much so that he requested and got a court-martial to exonerate himself of any wrongdoing in the affair. For the rest of the war, Anthony Wayne redeemed himself and proved himself to be a very able, gallant, and brave commander, and at his own midnight bayonet charge at Stony Point acquired the nickname Mad Anthony Wayne. Anthony Wayne was awarded the rank of Major General in 1783, and after the war moved to a rice plantation in Georgia that was awarded to him for his services during the war. He lived there on the plantation and served as a representative to the U.S. Congress for Georgia for about a year, until George Washington called him back into service to deal with some Indian problems on the frontier.
In 1792, President George Washington recalled Anthony Wayne to take command of the Legion of the United States, which was the forerunner to the United States Army, to put down an uprising of the Western Confederation of Native American tribes in the Northwest Ohio Territory. Anthony Wayne defeated the Western Confederation, who was led by Blue Jacket of the Shawnee and Little Turtle of the Miami tribe, at the Battle of Fallen Timbers in 1794.
Anthony Wayne stayed on as commander of the Legion until 1796, when he suddenly died of complications from gout in Erie, Pennsylvania, and his body was buried in nearby Fort Presque Isle. In 1809, his son Isaac had his body disinterred, the flesh boiled from his bones, and then shipped back to St. David's Episcopal Church in Wayne, Pennsylvania to be reburied.
But that isn't the whole story of General Anthony Wayne, because of something he did, which resulted in one of the most historic collaborations in American history. In 1795, after the Treaty of Greenville, which ended the wars in the Ohio territories, Anthony Wayne took his Legion troops and set them out on garrison posts throughout the territory to maintain peace and security. Life on those posts was very monotonous and boring, which in turn led to a lot of drinking. From that drinking led to arguments among the men, chiefly the officers, which tended to settle their arguments with duels.
The Regulations for Order and Discipline for Troops of the United States, authored by Baron von Steuben during the Revolution, also known as the Articles of War, were the rules of conduct for the officer corps of the United States. These rules strictly forbade dueling. Anyone who challenged someone to a duel, accepted a challenge to a duel, was a second at a duel, or ridiculed a fellow officer for not taking part in a duel, were all open to immediate court-martial and immediate dismissal from the service. Most of the commanding officers in the Army at this time routinely ignored these rules. They would much prefer that these officers never file a complaint or a court-martial because they never resolved the problem. It caused too much paperwork, and it was just too much trouble in the first place. And Anthony Wayne, he openly wanted his officers to duel rather than file a complaint for court-martial.
It came to pass that the very fort under the command of General Anthony Wayne, that a young, intoxicated ensign challenged a lieutenant to a duel. The lieutenant, however, rather than going through with the duel, filed a complaint with General Anthony Wayne. General Wayne was miffed at this and convened the trial and engineered an acquittal for the young ensign. However, to keep the peace among his men at the fort, the young ensign would have to be transferred to another post. That young ensign was none other than Meriwether Lewis. He was transferred to a fort under the command of a young 25-year-old captain named William Clark. The two became fast friends and remained that way for the remainder of their lives.
If not for Major General Anthony Wayne's acquittal of a lowly ensign for the infraction of challenging someone to a duel, there never would have been one of the greatest collaborations in the history of exploration and the history of the United States, the Lewis and Clark expedition and the Corps of Discovery. For my sons Stan and Jeff, I'm Stan Hitchens, and you've been watching Things You Didn't Know. We'll see you next time. It was in 1777 that Anthony Wayne was assigned the task of harassing General Howe's advancing troops on Philadelphia. You ready?
Anthony Wayne stayed on as Commander-in-Chief of the Legion until I don't know when.